And now, personal stories of police under fire. Robbers on the run attack Texas police. An enraged driver wrestles with the law. And undercover officers team up to take down a Carolina gunman. Greenwood County, South Carolina. The Hells Angels have just completed a motorcycle rally through town, and Chief Deputy Mike Frederick, Lieutenant Dale Kittles, and Agent Chris Hammett have just finished working the rally undercover. They all head home after a long day when a call suddenly comes in. A man has shot his friend at a barbecue, and now, armed and dangerous, he's loose in the neighborhood.
We heard the dispatch that shooting had just occurred.
It's something that we didn't want to take place in our quiet little town of Greenwood.
The shooter was fired from his job earlier in the day. He blamed his friend for the firing.
So he went to his friend's house and confronted him about being fired and ended up shooting him in the stomach. And then he got in his car and drove off.
The suspect was last seen headed in the officer's direction. It's just a matter of moments before they'll cross paths.
Sure enough, we look over, and we were passing the guy.
As the three off-duty officers begin their pursuit, they realize a Greenwood County patrol car is already on the shooter's trail.
He had already shot one person, so the situation was already escalated.
Suddenly, the suspect comes to a stop in the middle of a busy intersection.
Your adrenaline starts then because you know it's not a normal traffic stop.
Fearing the worst, Kittles exits the patrol car and gets into position.
I was swinging wide where I can get a better view of field of fire.
Meanwhile, officers Hammett and Frederick provide cover.
The chief was behind his vehicle along with Chris.
He pulled back into the vehicle, and then the next time he pulled back out, he put it around through the windshield of the Crown Vic.
What are you in that 140?
Suddenly, the neighborhood street turns into a war zone.
We could shoot it out with this guy from directly behind the vehicle all day.
As the gun battle rages on, Frederick must keep his focus on the shooter while protecting bystanders from the gunfire.
I had two females in the vehicle directly to my left. They were just frozen in a panic. I had to go over there to get them out.
Meanwhile, officers Hammett and Frederick continue to fire on the shooter.
Chris had taken out the rear portion of the window. And at this point, I can see a perfect silhouette. This is my shot.
With that angle, Gonzales never saw him.
I thought, at that point he was dead.
The suspect is down, but still dangerous.
He still had the gun right next to his hand.
Hands up! Hands up! Put your hands out!
I moved back to cover behind the city car. I just happened to glance up, and it was just, people were everywhere.
As curious pedestrians crowd the scene, officers fear for their safety. They're still not sure if there is someone else in the vehicle.
We had a lot of conflicting information. We didn't know if there was a girlfriend in the car. There was some mention of possibly his girlfriend or a girl in the car. It could have been another bad guy in the car.
The situation at that point was still dangerous. He still had the gun right next to his hand.
Officers Kittles and Hammett cautiously approach the vehicle. With his primary gun out of bullets, Kittles draws his backup pistol.
And I said, let's go on up forward.
Once they confirm that the gunman is alone, they move in for the arrest.
We just slowly advanced up as we were walking beside the car. One officer kicked the gun under the car where he couldn't reach it, and then secured him with handcuffs. With 3 SWAT officers in one vehicle, he didn't have a chance. I couldn't ask for two better guys to be with. It takes a lot of testicle fortitude for them to set up and say, I'll take the rounds for you while you go over there by yourself.
The gunman, Sergio Gonzalez, was hit several times. After his release from the hospital, he was charged with 7 counts of assault and battery with intent to kill and 2 counts of possession of a firearm.